Assassin's Creed Rogue is painfully lazy in places. Its missions are dull and there aren't enough of them. Its lead character is a walking anti-hero cliché.
Well, you know, trouble just follows me around.
And it's basically a glorified Black Flag DLC pack. But let's start with the story. The hero, or anti-hero in this case, is Shay Patrick Cormac, a gruff, moody assassin out for revenge after becoming disillusioned with the Brotherhood. Yes, the Assassin's Creed series still hasn't discovered that there are character motivations outside of surly angry dude, with Shay spending most of his time shouting at and killing other surly angry dudes before going off on his own to stare off into space and contemplate why everyone is just so gosh darn mean to him.
You simpleton! You rot-brained cabbage farmer!
So no, the core character story isn't going to keep you glued to the screen, particularly as the voice acting and its less than convincing Irish accents have a distinct B-feel team to them.
I got no gripe. My boss sent me over.
And where's he set up?
But while I've never cared for it much myself, the surrounding lore is going to be of huge interest to series fans. Rogue fills in many of the gaps between AC3 and Black Flag by diving into the Abstergo and Templar conspiracies, as well as reintroducing some key historical characters. A lot of this is accomplished during the historical missions, but there's also a return to the often derided modern-day first-person sections of Black Flag. Thankfully, these sections are much shorter this time around, and save for a painfully perky Abstergo employee, rather pleasant. There's a lot of information to uncover, from datapads with tongue-in-cheek references to other Assassin's Creed games to computers with assassins' profiles that are unlocked by a nifty puzzle game. As for the historical missions, well, a cliché it may be, but given that Rogue is mechanically identical to Black Flag, if you weren't into the boats and battles on the high seas, Rogue certainly isn't going to change your mind on the matter. It doesn't help that there's a lack of interesting missions, while story-driven side quests are few and far between. There are gang bases to liberate though, and these provide some of the most tense and exciting moments in the game. For a game with Assassin in the title, there aren't actually a whole lot of assassinations to play through, and those that are there tend to involve your target running off and you chasing them. The slow, methodical and far more interesting assassinations that you'd hope for are few and far between. And so it falls to the seafaring missions to pick up the slack, and while the thrill of sailing on the open sea hasn't lost any of its charm, you can't help but feel that with the slim amount of missions on offer, both out at sea and on dry land, that you're getting a raw deal. There's not even any multiplayer to round things out. Outside of a few new additions like an air rifle and a grenade launcher, there's next to nothing in Rogue that moves the franchises forward. And even if you simply wanted more of Black Flag, that the missions are so sparse makes it difficult to want to drag yourself across the vast expanse of Rogue's oceans. Instead of a rich, fleshed out game, Rogue is a short, mildly entertaining adventure that's thin on core content but thick with information.
That's enough!
Give back the manuscript, Shay! I'm sure Achilles—
I cannot! I will not let this happen again! All those souls lost! One more hardly matters.
Shay!